Hi everybody, I'm Zilla Blitz and welcome to the October monthly update. This is the video where we talk about new games that have arrived in the house, games I've been playing over the past month or so. We have a topic of interest. This month's topic is tactical, operational, or strategic level gaming. Which do you like? We'll talk about that at the end based on survey results from a survey we put up on the channel a little while ago. And we'll also be giving away things. We have a $50 store gift certificate to one of our sponsors, Noble Knight Games, that we'll be doing the drawing for at the end of this video for everybody that entered into the contest earlier on the upcoming Wargames video that was posted a while ago. Speaking of Noble Knight Games, they are one of our channel sponsors and they're a sponsor of this video. They are a board game retailer in Wisconsin that ships all over the planet. However, I wanted to call special attention to an event they have coming up at their store. They do a lot of community events, which are pretty cool, and this one is their fall in-store trade days, which has a number of features. So, and they do ship all over the world, so that's not a big deal. But if you live in a nearby state, they specifically mention here Wisconsin, Illinois, Minnesota, Michigan, and Iowa, they will pay for a portion of your travel costs. The details are here. They have events and snacks and drinks. You can play board games in their gaming hall, and you get one free item from their clearance cove for all trades over $100. So this goes on Friday, October 10th, Saturday, October 11th, and Sunday, October 12th. I know one other person who's a Patreon on the channel is going down to trade in a big pile of games. So if you have a bunch of games that you're looking forward to getting rid of or need to get rid of, and you have some time on October 10th to 12th and you live within a reasonable drive of their store in Wisconsin, this might be something to check out. I'll put a link to this page down in the website, on their website down below in the video description. And if you do use some of the links to buy something from them, it's greatly appreciated, as that does help out the channel in a little bit. So Noble Knight Games, big event coming up in October. And if you're looking for stuff in general, they can be a good place for new and used war games, as well as all other kinds of board gaming supplies. Let's jump right in now and talk about things that have played over the past month or so. A light month. So I work in education, and the first 3 weeks of September tend to be one of the busiest stretches of our year. So and this year's been particularly busy for whatever reason. Things have finally settled down now, which has allowed me to get in to make this video, but a much lighter span of board gaming than I usually would get. And I'm itching to get back to some tables, both digital and regular. Nevertheless, there have been a chunk of things that have been played. I'd like to talk about some of them. Memoir 44 is a game I've been playing on Board Game Arena. This is an interesting one. When I first started playing Memoir 44, I mean, this is an introductory war game, but a lot of people really like it. And when I first started playing Memoir 44, I wasn't all that big of a fan of it, right? I was losing a lot, so that's one reason. And I was blaming the cards. It's like, well, you don't get the cards. It's like you can't do anything. But in the back of my head, right, what I know is that a lot of that, I think, is actually playing into cards, anticipating cards, moving units so you can take advantage of cards, and not playing yourself into a corner. So in the back of my head, I have this idea that, yeah, although I'm blaming the cards, this is kind of on me. So I jumped back in through another cycle of Memoir 44, played probably maybe 10 or so games over the past month or so, and I'm doing much better now. I've figured out a couple of things, just strategy and tactics-wise. I think I'm thinking better, and I think I am doing some better card management and anticipating and mitigating the risks of bad cards too. So I think there is a level of play that I'm starting to get to that's making my gameplay in Memoir 44 better. Having said that, if you don't get the dice rolls, and there are times where you can just not get cards, you can just get trapped, and no matter what you do, you can't get out of it. So there is that element of the game. But on the whole, enjoying Memoir 44 a lot more and liking what I'm seeing. Trench Raid was another game that I explored over the past month and a half. I've got some videos up on the channel on that. This is a game from Compass Games where you play a squad of soldiers in World War I that goes on patrols into no man's land. I wasn't sure how I was going to like this one, right? Because I thought maybe there'd be a lot of dice rolling. I thought maybe it would get repetitive. But this game is in that same category again as the Hunters and Silent Victory, Aces, Western Front Ace and stuff like that, that really allow you to spin a narrative around a group of people. And this game in particular, I think, does a really good job at that. I was really impressed with the narrative variety, the tension, the results, and just the story that this game creates, while at the same time giving you, to a certain degree, some decision making over the game. So I've really been enjoying that one. 1944, Battle of the Bulge from Worthington Games. I wanted to try this with a friend who was interested in playing war games. He's never played a Hex Encounters war game before, so I brought it over to his house. We ate dinner, learned it, and played in one night. really worked pretty well. I think it was good. There's a couple places in the rules where we had to kind of guess on things, just couldn't figure them out quickly enough, so I just guessed and figured I'd look it up later. But on the whole, I think we both had a really, really good time playing it. And it was interesting too. I think, playing someone who hadn't played a Hex Encounters war game before, we got a little bit into it. He's like, I have no idea what to do. And I looked at it, I said, I don't either. So I think there's a certain element of, if you've not played a Hex Encounters game before, you can't let it stop you, right? You just try something. The worst that's going to happen is you're going to lose, right? And I think I see a lot of times when I'm playing with people, if they get paralyzed with indecision, and there's no way to know. It's not your fault. You just have to try something, especially if you've not played the game before and don't understand the rules that well and might not be familiar exactly with the nuances of the battle. Got to just kind of try things. So we did have a really good time, though, and he wants to play again, so I've enjoyed that one. British Tank Ace. Hasn't been a video on it for a while. September has been a quiet month for videos and board gaming playing, as I mentioned earlier on. But I'm going to get back to that this weekend now that work has settled back down. I've been really enjoying that one. And again, fun narrative storying, but the missions are really fast. They've just been really fun to play. I can't see how the story of our tank evolves over this North Africa campaign. Iron Squad is a prototype game from Princeps Games that I just played a little while ago, put up some gameplay on that one too. Very interesting individual man game. Definitely falls more in the game category than the simulation category, but it's got a lot of interesting design decisions in that one too. That one's on Kickstarter now. I'll put a link down to it down below if you want to check that one out. And Super Team is another prototype, not a war game. But it is okay. So it's not a war game, right? It's about soccer. Each person takes a team, and it's simplified to 5 players on a team in addition to your goalkeeper, so 6 on a squad, and you're playing soccer. But it's card driven, a lot of interesting tactics and combinations that you can use. So it's a sports game, but it feels like a war game. I've really enjoyed it. I had to send my prototype on to another content creator, but they have restarted their Kickstarter. They launched it the first time and the shipping was high, so they canceled it and they've restarted it with lower shipping and some changes to the game and stuff like that. I'll put a link down there below because I know a lot of people were interested in that one. I really like the thinking level of that game and really enjoyed my time with it. I was sad I had to send it on to someone else because I wanted to keep playing it. Playing some Hunt for Blackbeard on Rally the Troops. And speaking of Rally the Troops, playing some Paths of Glory. Started about a week ago. Last week was a disaster for work, so I haven't been in there for a week. But I read some of the rules, most of the rules, and I'm starting to make some moves. I've got 3 games going now of Paths of Glory on Rally the Troops, so I'm really looking forward to getting into those games and getting better at that one. And lastly, on the table nearby here, Gettysburg the First Day, which is one of the Blind Sword series games, the most recent one on that. I've been playing a game with DM Tim online on Vassal, because I'm trying to get better at Vassal, and then I've got a game to play it solo on the table upstairs here, so I've been enjoying that as well. So there's a sample of stuff I've been playing, a little bit around. I look forward to getting back into more of these games and more games in general over the course of the rest of October here, now that work has settled down. I mean, I've also been playing a bunch of regular board games too. I've always got games of Wingspan going on. Been playing tournaments on Board Game Arena for Wingspan, and 10th or 11th, I think I was out of a 160 person tournament a little while ago. I was like, oh, I'm finally getting this game down. And then of course the next tournament I played in, it's like won 3 and lost 4, and I ended up way in the middle. So that's there. I also started playing Terraforming Mars, not a wargaming. I know, I'm looking through my list here. Really like Terraforming Mars. That's a lot of fun. And then White Castle, the game I'm so bad at White Castle. I think I've played 16 or 17 games now. I've won 1. I can't get better. I mean, I haven't read the rules yet, but I understand how to play well enough from playing so many games. But yeah, there's just something I'm missing with that game. I don't know what it is. I can't go. Also played a game of Oceans, which is the next game. The company that made Evolution played Oceans. We played it at a work board game group. I really like that one. That was really fun too. I mean, it's a really nasty game. You can do evil things to your opponent, so it's not for the faint of heart, but that was a fun game. I want to play some more of that too. Otherwise, that's some other random games in there too, but those are some of the highlights over the past month and a half or so of things that I've been playing. Some mini topics to cover right now, although largely I'm going to claim a mulligan on all 3 of these. Usually I've been making a comment about how I haven't played Advanced Squad Leader over the past month. It's the same. To be fair, September just caught me off guard. I knew it was going to be busy. I didn't expect it to be that busy. I'll be back with Advanced Squad Leader in next month, though. I know I promised a video on it. I failed. I did fail, but I have not given up yet. Don't give up on me. Anyway, yes. Empire of the Sun. I did make a little bit of progress with it. I shifted it from the tabletop to Vassal. I don't have room on all my tables to play all the games. So I've been really concentrating on putting stuff on Vassal and learning Vassal so that I can keep more games going and keep learning things and keep making progress with them. So I'll have more information on that next time. I think I should pretty much have that one done in a month. Not done, but learned and played and through Empire of the Sun. Playing a board game in every state, no progress, no travel. And that probably won't be for a while, I imagine, unless something unexpected comes up. But it's kind of a long-term side quest kind of thing. Travel plans. I'm excited to say I'll be going to SD HistCon conference in November. That one, Travel Plans has worked out. That's one of my favorite conferences. Less than 200 people, really friendly, lots of gaming, great restaurants nearby, and very affordable airfares here from Minnesota. So I'm excited to be traveling to that one. That one is sold out. But the one that's not sold out that I know I'll be going to as well is Circle DC in Washington, DC of April of next year. Another same type of vibe as SD HistCon, probably a little less historical gaming focused, but still tons of great gaming, tons of historical gaming, fantastic people, and about the same amount of people, 200, 250 people in DC, tons to do nearby, great restaurants nearby, really friendly people. So I'm excited to be able to go to both of those conferences. Those are my current travel plans. I don't know if I'll be able to make more or not. We'll see how things go. But if you are able to if you're going to SD HistCon and want to play a game, depending on scheduling, I'd love to be able to get together and play a game. If you're thinking on going to Circle DC, that'd be another place to get together and play a game there too as well. And these are so small conferences that it's pretty easy to do that. So really excited about those travel plans. As always, during the monthly update, I like to take a moment to thank all the people who support the channel, whether it's liking a video or subscribing or adding a comment to videos. The support is greatly appreciated, and I really enjoy reading all the comments on the video. I still have a goal to answer all of them, although I realize I'm about 150 comments behind at the moment. I'm trying. It's a little tricky over September to keep up with everything. Also, and of course, a huge shout out to all the people that provide support to the channel over the Patreon. Your help is incredibly appreciated. The funds that come in the Patreon go to things to make the channel better. One thing that I recently got that I'll talk a little bit about in either this episode or the next one is a Stream Deck, because I do want to add a little bit of live content to the channel more, and I'll talk about that, but this will allow me to do that much better. So that was one thing that I picked up over the last month with some of the funds from the Patreon. A lot of new members, some Patreon supporters too. So I'm going to read through them. Usually I can remember them, but there's too many for me to remember, so I might have to look down. Rocket Man, Michael Graylis, Michael Edwards, Luke Shaika, Mariano Rico, ES Dad, David Wrinkle, Rob Moffat, Chris Stedman, and Rob Allen. Thank you all for joining the Patreon and for your new support. And as always, if you haven't seen the Discord that goes with the paid Patreon, let me know if you're a paid Patreon member, and I will get you a link to that. You can just post a message on Patreon, but I think everybody who wants it has got it. We've got about probably 15 to 20, maybe 25 active members there, usually a few asynchronous games going on and conversations and sharing what we're playing as we go through there. So it's a small little community for paid Patreon members, and information on the Patreon, a link to that is down below in case you'd like to check that out. Shifting gears now to new and in the house, considering it's been about 6 weeks since the last channel update, I think maybe a little bit more. A rather modest number of new games that have arrived, but let's talk through some of them. First up, the 12th Battle, the Caporetto campaign, 1917. This is from Hexasim, designed by Herman Lutman, and this looks cool. I've got an overview video up on the channel. I will be creating some content for this one. It kind of lost in the pile of busyness that was September work. But a solitaire game where you play the German and Austro-Hungarian forces in 1917 attacking the Italians in northern Italy. Historically a big success, so your job as the solitaire player is to do better than your historical counterparts did. Looks very accessible, very playable, very fun. I think this is going to be a really cool game to get to the table. And I will be creating some content for this one on the channel over the course of the next month or so. Next one is 100% Fear of Missing Out, because it's on my shelf of shame, but I didn't want to miss the expansion for it, because once they sell out, they're super expensive. Space Empires 4X, all good things. This is a massive expansion. It's the last expansion for Space Empires 4X. And this, I really got to get this to the table sooner than later, because looking through this one, I'm going to make a cube for me kit for this one, a storage kit solution for this one this weekend. But looking through it, this looks like a game. I mean, I bought it because I thought I would really like it. I just have, it's one of those games that's sitting on the shelf of opportunity. It looks like it's really fun to play. And with all the expansions that are out for it, this is a massive world of space 4X wargaming, board gaming that's there. So I was looking through it the other day. It's like, wow, I got to get this one to the table sooner than later. Have you played it? Is it, I've heard really good things, and it's just a matter of finding time. So many games, so few tables. Another one that I mentioned earlier, new and in the house, was Iron Squad, game of World War II tactical combats, American versus Germans. Each counter is an individual soldier. Very heavily focused on accessibility and gameplay. I think it's a very streamlined, quick game of unique tactical combat from Princeps Games. This one is currently on Kickstarter. And again, I mentioned that earlier, but there's a link down below if you want to check it out. One that I'm super excited, and I'm starting to get into this one right now, The Rock of Chickamauga from Flying Pig Games, also designed by Herman Lutman. Big box from Flying Pig Games. This is the second game. The first one, of course, is A Most Fearful Sacrifice, which was my game of the year last year, 2024. I've started working on the overview video for this one. I will be creating some gameplay content for this, the second game in the Black Swan series. This looks so good. There's like 16 scenarios in this one. So people look at this one. One thing I will say, okay, if you've looked at this and you know a little bit about it, of course, it's the Battle of Chickamauga in the U.S. Civil War. It's two massive maps. It's big maps. So a lot of people look at it and say, oh, I don't have room for that. I'll never play the big game. It's a monster game. There are 16 scenarios, and 3 of them use the full 2 maps. Most of the scenarios are small or mid-sized scenarios playable in a single sitting. So there is just a ton of gameplay. Sure, it's got monster scenarios in there, big ones that are going to take a long time if you play the full 3-day campaign. But you can get dozens and probably hundreds of hours of gameplay out of this one without ever going to those needing to play the full 2-map campaign. So I wouldn't let the size of this one scare you off. The components, the rules, the quality looks equal on par with The Most Fearful Sacrifice, except that the system is a little bit more evolved. And if you know how to play A Most Fearful Sacrifice, you know how to play this one already. I'm super excited to dig into this one. I've started working on the overview video, and I'm liking everything I see about it so far. So it's good times to be alive in wargaming. 2 more to look at in this rather modest amount of new arrivals over the past month or so. Let's take a look at this first one here. Both of these are from Phalanx. This is a prototype called Hood, Troubles in Sherwood. This one's coming to Kickstarter in October. I'll be creating some content for this one on the channel. This one, there's a lot to say about this. I really like what I've seen so far, although I'm only just starting to dig into it now. And so one player is the Sheriff of Nottingham, one player is Robin Hood, one player is the Bishop, and one player is the French nobles. And you're fighting for control over Sherwood. Now, if you look at the art here, and then you look at the board and some of the components inside, which I'll be showing, this reminds me of Coin Light. And the game that comes to my mind is Root. And not that this is the same thing or a spin-off, but it's got a Root type feel. In other words, a very light coin type of game with deep gameplay. And yet at the same time, this one, of course, has a historical theme to it. Very curious to see how this one plays. I've read through the rules. It looks very accessible and pretty easy to jump into. The other thing I like about kind of Robin Hood is that you immediately know what your faction's trying to do, right? So the historical context of understanding what your faction is trying to do, often in your counterinsurgency type games, like if I'm playing a certain faction, I don't know sometimes historically what I'm supposed to do, but Hood, you know immediately what you're supposed to do. So I'm very curious to explore some gameplay in this one. Looks really interesting. And last but certainly not least, Brett Walda from Phalanx Games. This second Hood was also from Phalanx Games too. This one just arrived a couple of days ago. Production values on this one are really high. This one coming to crowdfunding in about a month or so. I'll be creating some content for it on the channel. It is a 1 to 4 player game set in roughly the year 800 AD, where you're one of 4 kingdoms fighting for control over Britain. That's the historical context of this one. Looks like a very accessible game. I really appreciate, I think Phalanx has a nice touch on accessibility, depth of gameplay, quality of components, just really putting things together in a nice package that builds some very interesting things with good gameplay and a lot of accessibility. So I'm really looking forward to giving this one a shot. And along those lines, piecing things together, if you're going to be at not Circle D, if you're going to be at SD I can probably bring one of these in my suitcase. So if you're going to be there and you want to give one of these a try, just reach out and we can see if we can set up a 4-player game at SD of one of these two. I'm inclined to think this would be really fun to try at SD Playing time says 95 to 185 minutes. So probably for a first time game, it would be 3 to 4 hours, maybe. Probably perfect for a conference too. So reach out, let me know, see if we can get a 4-player game set up of Brett Walda at SD Likewise, if you are local to Minnesota, and I know there's a number of people that watch that are here, we can maybe see if we can set up a 4-player game of either of those locally on some weekend as well. Wanted to take a moment now and talk a little bit about the future of the channel and how things are going with the channel. I know a lot of people are like to ask about that and are interested in hearing about that. September is a little bit of a light month due to work. I'm excited that that seems to have settled down now. So my goal for October is 15 videos over the course of the month, so every other day. I really want to try to get consistent at putting up a video on a regular schedule over the next month. I think that will improve a lot of things, including my life, and then just getting consistent content out on the channel. Over the past couple months, things have been fairly streaky. The second thing I want to do is to start doing some streaming. This never will be a streaming channel. I like making fixed content, but I do think that there are people out there who do like streaming. I've enjoyed it when I've done it. So maybe once or twice a month, I'm thinking to add some sort of streaming component to it. That's why I picked up the Stream Deck device, which will really enable me to do that much easier. The third thing I want to do is to create some shorter videos. So things generally like overview videos take me about 4 to 5 hours to make. Gameplay videos, depending upon the complexity of the game, it can vary a lot. But on average, it's probably from the time I open the box to the time I hit publish on a gameplay video, it's at least 20 hours for almost every game. I mean, that counts learning the game, playing enough until I feel like I can play it smoothly and create gameplay content for it. And then playing the game just takes a long time when you're recording it. And then editing just takes so much time for videos. So those videos tend to take a long time. So I'm thinking about ways I can make shorter videos. One idea I've got is, like after I play a game one time that I might not be creating content for, is to just offer up some quick thoughts on the game. So it'd be like a 6-minute video showing some screenshots of the game and saying, hey, I played this. This is what I thought of it. This was pretty good. So not short videos, but videos that are under 10 minutes that are quick to produce. So those are the kinds of things that I'm thinking for new things to add to the channel in the upcoming month. Also curious to hear anybody's ideas, things you'd like to see, things you're interested in. I'm always open for new ideas to make the channel better and to spread the joy of wargaming and historical gaming and board gaming and around a lot more. So love to hear your thoughts on that. It's time for Wargaming Deep Thoughts. About a month ago, I put up a little poll on the channel, and it said, what's your favorite level of war game? And the 3 choices: tactical, operational, strategic. Just to clarify, a couple people asked what's the difference, particularly between operational and strategic, or what's the difference between the levels? Tactical is generally squad level, maybe company level, small groups of soldiers. Each counter represents 5 to 10 men, at the most maybe 20, 30 men. And the scale of the battle, the time scale, the turns are shorter turns in terms of historical time, like each turn might represent half an hour, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, an hour, something small, and the battle doesn't cover a large amount of terrain. To operational, which of course represents more of, a hex might be a city. You're talking about regiments and brigade level combat. So the time scale is bigger, the map scale is usually bigger, and the battle might cover, like the Battle of Stalingrad. It's a bigger scale and scope to the thing. And then the largest of all is strategic, where you might be, battling over countries as a whole. The time scale is usually longer. Units are usually armies or perhaps corps level troops. So the time scale is longer. The map is bigger, just bigger. So small, medium, large really is another simple way to think of that. And there, of course, is some fuzziness added. There's some grand tactical games that are operational level types of battle stuff with just tons of counters. So it's tactical, operational kind of mushed together. So there's some fuzziness to all of these. Some games contain both contents and things. But, so back to the point at hand though. The question was, which of these three things do you like the most? And you didn't have a choice to pick all three, but the answers were interesting. So right now, up to now, there's been 593 people that have voted on this. Here are the results. 42% tactical, 30% operational, 29% strategic. I mean, roughly cutting this over, rounding things off. If it were 10 people, 4 people would prefer tactical favorite, 3 people would say operational, and 3 people would say strategic. So a surprising balance over these answers, I thought. I mean, it really spread evenly with a slight tendency to like tactical more than the other two categories, which I found fascinating. I didn't know what to expect when I put this poll up. If it were me, I would say I'm probably a microcosm of all of that. I like all three levels, but if I honestly look at what I play the most, it probably is tactical level types of engagements. I feel like the narratives that those spin are interesting, and that's one of the reasons why I like to play is the narrative element of games. So that's probably pretty representative, but I like to play everything, and I'm happy playing anything. Some of the comments were interesting. It was interesting to see because some people picked a level, I think, because they had a favorite game at that level. And here's one here. It says, my favorite is tactical because my favorite game of all time, well, it doesn't say because, but I'm putting that in there. My favorite game of all time is Combat Commander, which is a tactical level game. So I think people that really have a special favorite game, like if you play Advanced Squad Leader, and that's what you play, then your answer is tactical because of that game, not necessarily, right? It's not necessarily you like that level of combat. You like that game, so you end up liking that level of combat. The causality could be reversed, right? If that makes sense there too. And a lot of people saying, I'm eclectic. I like all three. Here's a comment in here now. Nick R says, I'm split between the different scales. Given the time, I'd play them all. I love the idea of grand tactical, but don't have the space they generally require. A good point, right? Playability is king, but there should be enough chrome to make it feel like the period and the story are being represented. So yeah, again, another person saying all three. Some people very succinctly, operational, right? It's just, I'm eclectic, but lean most of all to tactical. That's me. Michael Welker says that. I'd say, Michael, you and I are on exactly the same page in terms of our preferences. Some other interesting comments in here. I definitely lean to strategic games, especially when I'm better at the game than my husband. So lots of, I think again, it's a mash, right, of different reasons why people like different levels. It could be they like the level, they like a certain experience they get at a level as opposed to just the level itself. So a lot of different reasons, but thanks to everybody who answered that poll and everybody who posted comments on this one. A lot of elements to explore in here, and the balance behind this was really striking to me. This discussion on tactical, operational, and strategic level war games leads us to the last thing that we have to do on the monthly update, which is to pick our winner to the $50 store gift certificate to Noble Knight Games. And we were going, whoever posted a comment saying whether they liked strategic, operational, or tactical on that upcoming War Games video has been automatically entered into this content, filtering out duplicate entries with nearly 300 entries, which is the largest competition we've had so far. So good luck to everybody. I'm going to push the start button, and our super YouTube random comment picker will select one winner from all of these comments here. Let's see what we've got. Wow, it's taking a while here. Oh, we've got at Arvin Runstein 5707, and let's see what his comment says. It says, Arvin's comment says, new to these games, so still learning, but strategic seems like my jam. That's excellent that you're new. Welcome to Historical Gaming, and maybe this will help you get started because now you'll have a $50 store gift certificate to Noble Knight Games. You can go buy something from them and play it and tell us what it is. For this one, if you could comment on this video, let me know you saw this, and then reach out to me. I will give you instructions how to get my email, but it's on the main page. You have to just click on the channel info. You can find my email and reach out, and we'll get you the $50 store gift certificate. So thanks to everybody who participated. Upcoming War Games will be coming out soon. The next edition, the November edition, will be coming out very soon. October edition will be coming out very soon. So we will have another drawing. So if you didn't win this one, keep your chin up. There's always another chance around the horizon. And with that, we've reached the end of our monthly update. I'd be curious to hear what you've got on your tables now. What are you playing? Let me know. A new upcoming War Games video will be out shortly. So that one for the 1st of October will be coming out in about a week or so. So look for that content on the channel soon. I'm excited to be back into historical board gaming. Not that I was away completely, but probably played a third of what I usually do and made a third of the content that I usually do. But now September is in the rearview mirror. Life will settle down. I'm excited to be back. So more content coming on the channel soon. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great day.